Yeah.
Very
So,
warm welcome, sir. Thank you for the session today. Over to you.
yeah, thank you very much. My name is Mohan Krishnan. I'm a professional storyteller and happiness coach. In my previous avatar, I used to work for a banking institution. I retired in a fairly senior position. And since then, I've been doing professional storytelling and happiness coaching. I also do a little bit of singing on the sides and do Gita Pravachan, teach people meditation and things like that. So, a whole lot of activities that I do. But basically, I love three things: love, laugh, and live. And that's what I'm going to share with you today: how to love, how to laugh, and how to live. And people can, in the beginning, you can mute your mics so that the background noises don't come in. And after 45 minutes, I'll throw the floor open. You can ask me questions. In between, if there are some urgent questions, you can go to the, see if you look at the bottom of your screen, there'll be a green button called share. That there'll be a green button, and after that record, and there'll be reactions. In the reactions button, you will find a hand icon. You can click on the hand icon. And if there are any questions or any comments that you want to give, there's a chat box. You can put it in the chat box. So if you're able to see the chat box, please will you type there why? Yeah, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, if you type in the chat box why, that means you're all able to see the chat box, because there'll be some questions for which I'll be asking you to put your answers in the chat box. So fine, let's get started. Welcome you all to this session on anger management. Okay. What happens when you are angry? There was a father, and what he did was he was so angry with his son because the son had damaged their newly purchased BMW. So the child, in its curiosity, had picked up some sharp instrument, and that ocean blue BMW had scribbled the father's name across the bonnet of the car. The father got so annoyed. He picked up the child's hand and hit it with a hard instrument, cracking the bone. And then after a few days, he got somebody to. Why means yes, you're able to see it. That's why. And means no. Okay. So after a few days, he got somebody to clean up the car, and the scratch was removed. The child came up to the father and said, "Daddy, will my fingers grow back to normal?" That's what anger does. When you are angry, there is a fuse blow out here. Your education, your scholarship, your presence of mind, nothing is consulted. There is a fuse blowout. Okay, so I want you to ponder over this question. And again, in the chat box, you will write, can you control anger? People who say want to say yes can put Y. People who say no can put N. Go to the chat box, type there, Y or N. No. Yes, yes, no. Yes. Fine. Okay. The opinion is divided. Some people say yes, some people say no. One person personally messaged me saying, after your course, perhaps yes. So let's look at it. This is people who think you can control anger. I want you to do a small exercise with me. Okay. Right. So hold your hands like this. And when I say 1, 2, 3, you will clap. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now keep your hands like this. And when I say 1, 2, 3, get angry. 1, 2, 3. Get angry.
I am angry. What do you mean?
But you're smiling.
But how? How does one get angry? Out of the
That's
blue.
$1 million question.
Out of the
That,
blue?
Ashutosh is an actor, he'll do.
yeah, Ashutosh is an
Yeah.
actor, yes.
I
And
was just doing a bit of
he
Arnab
sent me a
Goswami.
voice message. I'll be there. You can act as though you're angry, but you can't be angry, quite simply because anger is not under your control. It happens. Okay? Just as forgetting is not under your control, while forgetting is not under your control. In the same way, anger is not under your control. You can't control anger. So we'll see then what is this anger management all about. So let's understand the basics of anger. How does anger come? Let's go back into our lives. And there have been a lot of disappointments in our life. As a child, I had a beautiful red balloon and I let it go. Oh my God, it went away. It never came back. And I told my father, he said, I'll get you a green balloon. I said, no, I wanted red balloon. And like that, I lost so many things. Not only balloons, I lost so many things. In the teenage, I lost something. In late teens, I lost somebody I loved. You didn't succeed in an interview. You didn't get the marks that you deserved. You didn't marry the person you wanted. And you didn't get the type of lifestyle you wanted. You purchased an apartment of your choice, but it started leaking them for the first sign of rainy season. Your cars never gave you the performance it wanted. Your bank balance is never enough. The relationships are a problem. Your body is even more a problem. So there are a lot of disappointments in life. Some small, some big. Now, the smaller disappointments, that may not be even possibly smile about. There are certain disappointments which have a deeper impact on you. Where do these disappointments go? They don't go away. It's like, for instance, suppose a celebrity comes calling on us. You're right, body is an even more problem. Sadly true, yes. So suppose a celebrity comes calling at a very short notice, and you find that your house is not the way you wanted it to be. So what you did, you quickly rolled the carpet, put all the, dusted everything under the carpet and spread it. So that day, and then the next day, there were a few celebrities, and then at the end of a week, and everybody went back. Now you decided to keep the carpet on for some time. So one day you decided to again roll up the carpet. What happens to all the dust and the muck that had got inside? They rise to the surface. And depending upon how close you are to them, your sneezing seizure starts. And I don't know how long it goes on, depending upon where you are and what's your sinus conditions. In the same way, these disappointments don't go away. They get pushed into your unconscious. And during quiet moments, they arise. Or when there is a trigger, they arise. You are in a traffic jam and somebody behind you does pam, pam, pam. That's a trigger. You unwind and you yell at the nearest fellows to you. That fellow is only a trigger. He did not cause you anger. The anger happened something from the past that has come into your system from the past. So first thing about anger, we have to understand is it is a sign of emotional pain embedded in the system. It's an emotional pain. How do you know it's pain? Because after your most angry moment, when the anger subsides, you will find sadness. The other side of Anger is sadness, meaning it's a sadness which comes to surface as anger. And let's understand something very clearly. You cannot do anything about the coming out of anger. You have to understand this. There was this a person who went to, whether you go to a psychologist or whether you go to a Swami, you go to anyone for that matter, this person went and said, with the Swami, you sit like this, and with others, you don't sit like, you sit differently. So this person said, I have a problem. He said, what's your problem? I get very angry and very often. So this person gave him a fantastic piece of advice. He says, don't get angry. This fellow got even more angrier, quite simply because the more I tried not to get angry, I found I was angry with myself for not being able to control anger. Then again, in that in Indian Hindu tradition, there is something that you go to Kashi and give up something and come on a pilgrimage. So there was this fellow who went to Kashi and he said, I have returned from Kashi and I have given up my anger. Another fellow said, I have understood, I went through a anger management course. So I'm free from anger. So what do we people do? We only ask some questions. Okay, oh really? You've given up anger, is it? Ah, yes, sir. Really? Hey, come on, man. No, sir, I have given up. Sir, how can you give up anger? You are an angry guy. Your father was an angry guy. He said, sir, why do you bring my father into this? See, press the right button, out it comes. You just have to press the button. No, sir, 7 generations of your family. Sir, red face is getting redder, sir. So, first step in anger management. What is the cause of your anger? Okay, if you have, okay, we'll go into that actual practical management a little later. So, you have to identify the cause of your anger. Cause means what's the trigger? And if the triggers are, there are all specific triggers. Somebody is, it very often happens that somebody plays music loud next door. Okay, yeah, somebody plays music loud next door.
I'm the guy who plays music loud.
Loud, yeah.
I'm the guy who triggers anger out there.
And there are some people who play the kind of music you don't like. Okay, so music doesn't cause anger. That triggers something in you. That triggers a certain reaction in you. Triggers a certain restlessness or a certain uneasiness inside you, which explodes as anger. So first step is accept the fact that there is no control over anger. Many of us are in self-denial. No, I can control when I want. I say, I just have to press the right button and you will explain. Okay, first accept the fact that we have no control over anger. That's the first level. At the second level, it's very, very important to accept a certain reality that anger is normal. Very, very important. So if you're inclined to anger, I'm not using the word angry person because you can't be angry throughout the day. You can't be angry with everybody. You can't be angry in every situation. If you are inclined towards anger in certain situations, accept the second fact that it is normal. There is a psychological order working in our system. In that psychological order, anger, jealousy, frustration, envy, okay, all these things are normal emotions in the human system. So none of these emotions are evil and you don't have to show yourself, that this is emoji comes a red mark and things. So these are perfectly normal emotions. The moment you say it's a normal emotion and I have no control over anger, 50% of your anger is managed. Then, of course, the third step is the triggers. When you have been able to identify the trigger, and if you can, and then you will also know that these are the times, these are the situations which create anger in you. Go a step further and identify how you react in anger. So there are some questions. If you have some paper with you, paper and a pen, you will have to write. You have to write it down so that these are the questions you have to ask yourself when you're in anger. Or when, I mean, you can't ask when you're angry. After the emotion is over, you can ask yourself these questions. Mind you, you have to be honest in answering these questions. Question number one, what happened? Okay. And you don't have to write it now. After an episode of anger, sit back and write down in a fair amount of detail what happened. It could start something like this. I was at the dining table and I was waiting for dinner, and somebody comes and tells me there is no dahi. Last item, and then there's roti there, there's everything is there, there's no dahi. That's what happened. I tasted the soup, there was no salt. The coffee did not have sufficient sugar. These are small triggers. Or when I started sipping the tea, there was a layer of that, on top, and it stuck to my teeth, and that's what made me angry. Just as I was concentrating, the baby started crying. Somebody said, don't talk so loud. So what happened? You have to write it in a fair amount of detail. Then, when and where did it happen? Identify the time, identify the place. When and where did this happen? Second question. Third, who were present? See, you have to graphically reconstruct the scene. Who were present? Okay, after writing this, the fourth question, what did you do and what did other people do? So you called this tea, is it? You yelled at someone. Did you look at the expression in the person's face? Half the time we don't have the courage to do that. Unless it's a child, because the child will break eye contact. If it's your boss, you dare not even be angry. So, ये चाय है क्या? किसने बनाया चाय? Who made this tea? Did you notice the expression on the person's face? Did you notice the eyes in particular? If you notice the eye, did you see the hurt there? So that brings you to a realization. If you explode in anger, it hurts. Okay, then write the next question. What was your feeling? You yelled at somebody. You saw the hurt. What was your reaction? Did you feel sorry? Did you feel bad? You can immediately identify. They say in Sanskrit, drishta phala, immediate reaction. You will not be able to sustain eye contact. You will break eye. You won't be able to sustain eye contact because human emotions are involved. Okay. What was your reaction after? Okay. Now, this is a big box. Now we are coming to a later date. What's your feeling about the situation today? What do you feel about it today? Like if you are running back over the situation, pick up a very angry moment. When you yelled at somebody or insulted somebody or whatever you did, go back. And what's your reaction today? How do you feel? Do you feel you could have responded differently on that day? The tea isn't so good. Can you add some sugar, please? Can you do that? So if you look at it today, and if you rewrote the script, can you rewrite some part of the dialogue? Can you shoot some of the scenes? Did you throw it away? In that say, do you think I shouldn't have done? Can you rewrite it? Okay. After having reconstructed, a very important next step, a very, very important step, okay? There will definitely be a trace of guilt. Okay. Now, if you are going to allow the guilt to take root in your system, you are causing or sowing the seeds for more anger at a later date. And so you will have to strategy. I mean, in a very you have to use auto suggestions and say, I am aware this happened. I was not in control. When you acknowledge this, the guilt goes away. Okay, or neither may feel guilty nor justify. He shouldn't have said like that. You have to deliberately remove these two emotions, these two inner chatter that happens in the system. Because these two chatters are they create maximum damage. So identify what happened, who were present, when it happened, what was the feeling on the other side, what was the feeling on my side, and today, could you have rewritten or reacted or differently as of today? And when that happens, identify these two emotions, guilt and regret, hurt. Identify it. The moment you identify, they won't grip you. The feeling won't go away. It's like this, there's a lot of COVID in the air, but you are immune to that. It's like that. Let guilt be there, but let it not run your. Let hurt be there, but let not hurt run your. So this identification goes on. Now comes a very important question you will have to ask yourself, because you have identified what went wrong. You have identified that you could have done it differently. So you're now going to identify the next step. You're going to ask yourself this question: how will I develop the required skills to respond differently? Okay, very important to ask these questions. How am I going to develop the skill? So the development of the skill is going to be the anger management program that we are going to do now. We have identified anger is from the emotional pain that rises to the surface. There is a trigger, and in the trigger, there is a certain reaction in which either you say hurtful things or do things that are hurtful. The other party gets hurt. You also get hurt. Both of you get hurt. And given an opportunity, you would rewrite the script. You would have said, I could have reacted differently. Having done this, now let's go to developing skills. That's the important part, right? So take over a new page. If you are with the notebook in hand, turn over a new page. And if you have two colorings, please use them. Okay. Column number 1. What makes me angry, or what is the trigger? Right? Column number 2. You have to write 3 reactions. H, M, low. L. H is reaction is high. M is medium. L is low. That is called intensity of the reaction. So what is the trigger? What is the reaction? How intense it is. Right? If it is L, the solution is easy. If it's M, a little more hard work is essential. H, perhaps I need to attend to it individually. Right? So first I'm going to look at low intensity sorting out, or low intensity. You're angry and it's low intensity. You yell for a while and then say, no, I didn't mean to say all. Hey, why do you fiddle around with the remote? Actually, I didn't want to say. So it's something like this, a small reaction, low intensity. So how to handle low intensity, or in fact, how to handle all three of them? Write a line in bold. Okay. I have no control over the coming of anger, but I have control over display of anger. I have no control over the oncoming anger, but I have full control over the display of anger. Line number 2. Line number 3. I will not make anyone, including myself, a victim of my anger. 3 lines. I have no control over anger. I have control over the display of anger. Yeah, Freddie, I'll come back to you. Okay, in between. Your hands are up. You want to ask a question now, Freddie? Okay, I think I was testing the reaction and it went up. And in the same place, you can say lower hand, it will go down. Raise hand, and there's also a lower hand option. You can lower it. Thank you, Kumar, for noticing this. So, and the third step is, I am not going to make anyone, including myself, a victim of my anger. These 3 should percolate into your system. I'm not going to make anybody a victim. All right. So now we go to actual management. Low intensity anger. Somebody keeps fiddling around with the mobile. Oh, it's happening. No? You're talking to somebody and they look at the mobile and keep talking. What do you feel like? Say, hey, would you put that thing down? Don't you feel like saying that? So you will have to control that. And say, you can say, no, oh, I'm sorry, but I don't like the way you fiddle around with the mobile when you talk to me. Okay? Now, this very often it happens when you bring tea, either the sugar is more or less. Now, can you not give it to me in a separate container? I'll add my sugar to it. When you place coffee to my left or something, why don't you tell me that you have placed so that I'll know that the outer layer is formed or something like that. So you don't have to act sweet. You only have to tell the person that you don't like what is happening. I saw a very good ad. There was a guy driving a car. And there's a fellow on a bike without a helmet. This fellow rolls down his glass and says, why are you not wearing a helmet? And that fellow looks at him and says, mind your own business. The fellow gives him a card and says, you are my business. Because he's a neurosurgeon. When you come hit your head and bang, I have to heal you. You are my business. So when somebody tells you, mind your own business, you feel like saying, or you will tell them, I feel like telling you I should have told the buffalo. So rather than react like that, you can tell them. I was traveling by a car and then there was somebody who cut across. This fellow stopped and said, hello, once it goes, it will not come back. Careful, and kept driving. And he kept driving, he didn't have any kind of, what do you call, in the sense, he made a very conscious effort not to yell. But it doesn't mean you have to be sweet all the time. You can tell them, look, I don't appreciate this behavior. I would like you to make a change. That's one. Second reaction. You can always say, I am angry now. I don't want to say something which I will regret later. So can I be quiet for some time? These things will work wonders. Or you can have a sheet of paper and write there. I'm angry. Please leave me alone. Okay, I'm angry. Leave me alone. Some kind of, what has happened is you have converted your display into something, what do you call, very, very consciously, deliberately, you have decided you won't hurt people around you. Okay, invariably, you hurt only the weaker ones. You only hit at people who can't hit back. And it will always leave you with a sense of sadness. So low intensity can be. So a couple of more things for low intensity. Okay. Buy 3 colored towels. Okay. I don't have it on display right now here. 3 color towels. Red, amber, green. Okay. Fold it into a scarf-like thing. I don't have a red one, but I'll just show you how to wear it. Fold it like a scarf. And when you are very angry, yeah, red color towel. You are announcing loud and clear, don't act as my trigger. Okay. These are for low intensity ones. And when the situation is under your control, if you are in the street, yeah, even the car you can carry and put a red thing. It also gives you one signal to others, another signal to you that you are likely to say something which will hurt. Okay, red. Now your anger is slowly going down. Very often it's very difficult. You have yelled at somebody in anger. And then how to make up? Will you say sorry or will the other person say sorry? And when you say sorry, the other person says, aise hi karte ho tum. You become angry first and later on you will say sorry. The trigger continues. So to do that, I have one more solution. The same, have another towel, which is color amber, orange. Dal lijiye. Anger is coming down. After some time, change it to green. Ab bhai hum normal ho gaye. You are giving a signal, you can talk to me normally. I won't yell at you. Or I am ready to talk to you normally. 3 clear towels. This is a game. And you can play this game with yourself. And if you have grandchildren at home who understand things 7, 8 and above. Okay. Yeah, that's right. The other person can always wear a red towel. So you are having a green, the other person is wearing a red towel. It's a signal to you, keep quiet. Wait for both the colors to become green. Still both of you start driving your cars. Okay. So the color code quite simply means red is I am angry, I don't want to talk. Stop. Orange means I am ready. Green, drive. Same meaning. Okay. And the other person can put on a red or an amber. It's like driving, when the other person is having red, you don't drive, you're very careful. It is like driving a car and monitoring. Okay, the other game which I recommend is, if you have grandchildren at home who are 7, 8, the early teenage or something like that, you can tell them, let's play a game. Every time you catch me angry, you will come and tell me, Dadu, you are going to be angry. 1 rupee. Nobody has 1 rupee these days. Dadu, yeah, you have. Oh, that's wonderful. Or increase the amount. Dadu, you're angry. Google Pay 10 rupees. 25 again chutta nahi hai. So every time you catch me angry, you have a small notebook in use. It's like, I'm putting a rummy account. +1, +1, +1. At the end of the day, I have to give you so much. Your attention on your pocket will see that you don't display your anger. You can make a nice game, but you must be a sport. That should not end up making you angry. These are for low intensity anger management. You can't do it for medium or high intensity. Now let's look at medium intensity anger. What is medium intensity anger? It stays for some time. And you love feeding it. In your mind, there is a chatter. He said this, that's why I said this. I should have even not only said light one, I should have given him a harsh giving back. I should have hit him harder. Every time I end up losing. It happens. It's a simple thing. Somebody did not greet somebody on the birthday. Okay. So this fellow puts a question mark. Invariably, if it is 2 different genders, the problem becomes different. But man, nobody bothers. So this man put a question mark. Then he said, what question mark? Savere. He said, what day is today? She said, Thursday. The trigger is making him even more angry. He is trying to remind her that today is a birthday and you have not greeted me. He says, what day is today? He says, Thursday. He says, you have forgotten a very important day. He says, what's that? Today is my birthday. Oh, so sorry. Happy birthday. It makes him even more angry. You have asked somebody for birthday to be greeted and somebody has greeted you and you continue to be angry. Then it's not happens, it happens regularly. You constantly forget my birthday, exchange. I will not talk to you again. I'm going to block your phone number. Temporarily blocked after 2 hours. You were supposed to block. Why didn't you block? See, after the texting, it has started too much. Previously in the telephone, people did not have so much time to talk. Then finally, she said, I forget my parents' birthday also. But they don't get angry. They simply say, darling, you've forgotten my birthday. And we make it up. Why can't you say that? He feels regretful. Maybe I could have said. It's a medium intensity anger because it stretches over one day. And imagine the next year, the birthday comes on time. What will you say? What a surprise. You remembered me this time? See, it is there last year that the person did not greet you, still in the mind. Oh, what a surprise. You remembered me, my birthday. So see, you tend to prick. It's like a monkey's wound. It never gets okay. The monkey keeps fiddling around. If that monkey doesn't fight, another monkey will do. It never gets healed. So medium intensity angers require a different management. The different management starts with journaling. Okay, journal. Buy a good quality notebook. I don't sell stationery and things like that. Don't think I'm doing it after retirement. Buy a good quality notebook. Buy good quality pens. Not that ₹5 wala. ₹5 kuch nahi milta these days. They used to have one pen. Use and throw. They add your carbon footprints. Use and throw. Don't use anything and throw. I use this. I get a fountain pen, about 2 or 3 fountain pens. And all these pens are filled with different color ink. This has a purple color ink. Okay. I use a red and green as well. These days I've changed red to brilliant brown. And the pen is not very expensive, but slightly expensive. Comes in the 1,000+ range. And each ink bottle costs you about 500+. So 3 ink bottles, 3 pens have an investment of about 5,000 rupees. Don't say 5,000. Yeah, you will be paying in blood pressure medicines to the doctor for the rest of your life. Instead of that, 5,000, 3 fountain pens and 3 good quality inks and some good quality notebooks. Each notebook costs how much? About 50 rupees. Ruled notebook or unruled notebook. I'm not selling any of these, nor am I selling. Any of these, please buy. Every day, write your journal. The journal should be written in 2 parts. Morning journal, evening journal. Morning journal starts with resolutions. What will be the resolution? I shall try to be a CDR person. What is CDR person? A calm, dignified, refined person. I shall try to be a CDR person. Point number 2. I will not get drawn into wasteful debates or discussions. Okay, and add, particularly in the social media. See, I had put in a quote there today. It happens, for meaningless things. Somebody had said, people who follow cricket, somebody had said, Greenidge and Barry Richards are the best opening pair ever. So I wrote there, hey, Barry Richards has played only 4 tests. Our SMG is miles ahead. That fellow sent me half a page of Gali. So I took, so what did I do? I was so tempted. I said, I typed it all. I said, at least don't send it now. I said, you give Gali, I will show you what language capacity I have. So I typed it all out, but did not send it. I deleted the whole thing. Feels so nice. It happened just before the anger management program. So I'm telling you what I did. So journal. I shall try to be a calm, dignified, refined person. I shall not get drawn into any wasteful debate or discussion. Okay, this is the opening thing. Write it in one color ink. Every time you broke that resolution, write it in red or brilliant brown. And every time you complied with the resolution, write it in purple. At the end of the day, see what you have written. And track your improvement over a period of time. Preserve all of them. Don't throw them away. Preserve all of them. Watch. Okay. See, I'm sharing with you something I had written in December. There was no point in going on an overdrive and then climb down. It could very well have stopped if I had said, I am sorry. There was no pointing in driving it hard. What was I trying to prove? A sheer waste of all emotional energy. I must learn to exercise circumspection and restraint. This is what I have written. December 10th. And below that I said a very important thing. So help me, Ishvara. Because control is not 100% in my hands. I like that I've written so. These are important. There's some interesting things there. Yeah. So again, we were exchanging something about I've written some needless exchange. So please have a habit of journaling. It will help you handle all these medium level, medium intensity anger. It is called residue anger because it doesn't go away. It remains in your system. Have this. Okay. We have to do a small exercise here. It is called FIR measurement. FIR doesn't mean going to the police station. F stands for frequency of emotional disturbances. How frequently do you get disturbed? I stands for intensity. R stands for recovery. How frequent are your disturbances? How intense are they? How fast is your recovery? The shorter, the lower the FIR, okay, the higher will be your cheerfulness content. If this is higher, cheerfulness content will come down. So this is for medium level management. So low we have seen medium. Now for higher level management, we need to understand ourselves a little better. The lot of anger remains in the system and continues in the system much into old age because of certain realization, certain helplessness, and very important called expectations. Okay, and an inner urge for validation, acknowledgement, approval from my relationships. So I do a presentation and I expect at the end that all of you should say, wow, 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 wow. And if one person says, no, I feel bad. Why does this fellow this? And very often, some of our speakers keep looking at the number of participants. Today I see 37. Tomorrow I see suppose only 7. I'll say, what happened? Why only 7? There's a need for validation from you. And when I don't get that validation, I feel bad. This is called expectations, and I learn to manage the expectations. So how do I manage expectations? It may sound a little philosophical, but it's nothing philosophical. It's just practical, sensible, very, very sensible. Okay, the sensible thing as what is being quoted, and people have distorted it way out of shape, so that people have lost the meaning and they don't take it seriously. It's a very simple quotation. Very, very simple. In Sanskrit, it says, Karmani eva adhikarahate ma phaleshu kadachana. And people translate it as, do your duty, do not expect results. I call it first class BS. B stands for bull, the other thing you fill it up. I don't want to record it here. I do your might do and then don't expect results. That means I speak and I don't expect you to understand. What kind of...
Is it bull sense?
It doesn't make sense.
Bull sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Bull, you could also call it the other thing, what comes out of the posterior.
Oh, okay.
Bullshit.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to say that. So the bull delivers it out of it posterior. Okay. So it's high class BS. It quite simply means I have control over my action alone, not over the results. Karmani eva adhikaraha ma phaleshu kadachana. Never over the results. So let's say I'm in one place. I'm in Chennai and I'm in a place called Pariscon. And from there I have to reach a place called Adyar. Adyar is about 9 to 10 kilometers from the place where I am. Okay. So I'm on this side of the road. I have to cross the road and take a bus, which takes me direct to Adyar. There are 4 clear possibilities. Once I cross the road, I get the bus I want and my journey is normal. Other thing, as I'm trying to cross the road, my friend Kumar is also going down the road in his car, and he says, hey, Mohan, come, I'll drop you. Even I'm going to Adyar. I'm going to attend the same meeting. So the journey which would otherwise take me 40 minutes, we do it in 15 minutes and enjoy a good Kumbakonam degree coffee on the way as well. The third one, as I cross the road, we have that sadistic bus conductors, say double whistle they blow even as they see me approaching. The next bus will come after another 25 minutes. So I get the bus. I get something better. I get something less. It's also quite possible that I get right the opposite result. Even as I'm crossing the road, one of those nice auto rickshaws knocked me down. And next morning I wake up in a hospital asking philosophical questions. Where am I? Who am I? And things like that. Any of these 4 results are possible. That is the meaning of karmani eva adhikarahate ma phaleshu kadachana. You just have to go back and say, in life, most of my expectations are met. Sometimes they have been more than met. Sometimes they have been less than met. So as a simple economics, I say, look, when I am free to expect, but the expected results are not in my hands. Simple paradigm adjustment, a small tuning. I try my best to sing. People like it. A lot of people applaud. Good. But there are some who might not like it. Second. So it's called expectation management. Third and very important, if you people are fond of Kabir ke dohe, okay, keep this doha in mind. Nindak niyare rakhiye aangan kutir chamai bin saban pani bina Nirmal kare suhaye kabira. So keep a critic close and nourish him, because without soap and water he will keep you. Free advice he'll keep giving you. Such a person is called a Sukhrida, not a Mitra. Mitra is a friend who will say, ah, theek hai, yaar, acha hi hai. Chalo, chalo. The Sukhrida will say, no, it's not okay. I expect better standards from you. Suppose there are people, you should go to the music industry and see. There was a music director called S.D. Burman, and he made a movie called, he composed music for a movie called Guide, in which Rafi had a song. Din dhal jaye hai, raat na jaye. So in that there is a line in the Antara. Phir se wo sawan, Phir kyun na, that Phir kyun na, I was recorded 17 times till S.D. Burman got it right. So you need somebody who will hone you, provide for that. This is called Nindaka Niyare Rakhiye. Okay. And you could do something else. Now I'm very angry with someone. For some reason. Write it. Write it, type it, color it, and use different font styles and whatever you want. Capital letters, small letters, pull on. Yeah, Ashutosh. Do whatever you can.
No, I was going to express my anger at you for muting me all the time and not letting me talk. How do I do? Also, I have a hard stop at 5 o'clock because I've got another meeting. Sorry about that.
So do everything possible, but do something. Don't mail this letter. Preferably burn it or tear it into pieces. Put it in one of those gas balloons and let it watch it fly.
I'm going to tear this piece of paper, right? Mohan made me angry and
And then,
I have a toilet round. I'll just crush it and flush it.
In one company I knew, what they did was they allowed you to take a printout of the person's face, a cartoon. Okay. And they said, put it on the dartboard and throw dots. And at the end of the day, see that he doesn't see it. Take it out and destroy it. It's called venting. You can do that. You've got old jeans which you have not washed in the last 20 years. Now wash it today. Hand wash them. Don't use the washing machine. And if you have that, kata, 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 please do that. Hand wash them. Especially, in South India, they wash it like this. In North India, they'll put it on the floor and wo hota hai na ek hatauda jaisa.
Dhoka.
Sir, thapi, not hathoda.
Yeah. Or in Tamil Nadu, we have grinding coffee seeds. These days it's gone. You get it ground in the machine. Those days we had handheld machines grinding coffee seeds. Something that will vent out, help you vent out the anger. So any activity which is vent out, but that which will not harm you. So no eating sweets. Okay. No taking alcohol. Yeah, drink lots of water if you like. Because the place you will rush is the nearest to loop. That's not a problem. No alcohol, no eating sweets. Yeah, if you are somebody who can run or something, put on your running shoes and just go around the colony. Don't drive. Bicycle is fine, but no motor driving. A good round of tennis is fine. Good round of tennis. Or don't bat, pick up the ball and bowl fast. Imagine you're Shoaib Akhtar running in from next countryside, running from Lahore all the way to Delhi. Bowl fast. Vent it out.
Okay.
Two last important steps. One, create inner leisure. This system here, okay, it is called a mind sense complex. Mind complex. This is overloaded with a lot of muck. all your old thoughts, old memories, old hurts. I should pay back. Look at, ask that fellow a couple of times some questions. Okay, you have to transfer them to an external hard disk drive. So clear up that muck. So we'll have a small exercise on how to, inner, we'll call it the mind. Yeah. Yeah, we can call it, Priyanka, we can call it the inner mind. It's the mind. In Sanskrit, we call it antakarana. Ashutosh.
I really have to leave. Do we
Okay,
have
Ashutosh.
another session? Do you do this regularly or not?
Yeah, we will have a follow-up session. Don't worry.
Okay, then I'm going to call you up because I want to know the second step.
Yeah.
If not been for this meeting, I would have stayed.
Yeah, no issues, no issues.
Thank
Fine.
you.
Bye, Ashutosh. Ashutosh is a dramatist and
Thank
a
you,
digital
Ashutosh. I'm
dramatist.
really
Someday
angry
you will
with
get
you.
to know him. Yeah. We have all
Sorry,
acted
Sri Kumar.
together.
I am
Like,
angry
you
with
know a lot of
Ashutosh.
people here. You know Kumar, you know Rama, a lot of people here. Thank you, Ashutosh, for coming. Okay,
Bye.
so the second step is taking charge of this instrument. This is done by following a small meditative technique. Okay, so sit comfortably with your back straight. No incline, not inclining on a sofa, not lying down. But if you have a low back problem, you can support it with a cushion. Sit straight. Okay, place your hands gently on your thighs or link together, but placed on your thighs. Okay, gently close your eyes. The upper eyelids should rest on the lower eyelids like as though they are rose petals, softly, gently. Okay, mentally smoothen out your forehead of the frowns and wrinkles. Pay attention to the temples and see that it's free from those clenching that you normally do. Okay, look at your jaw. The jaw is clenched, so loosen the jaw. Check your shoulders and see that they're comfortable and they're not hunched. See that your hands are not holding your knees too hard. If you are in Ardha Padmasana, see that it's not folded too tight. Physically relax. When you're relaxed, observe the involuntary function called breathing. Breathing happens. It's involuntary. It doesn't take your permission. It moves in. Watch it intimately. It moves in. It goes to the bridge of the nose, turns inwards. At the lungs, it becomes two separate streams. It goes into the lungs. As though circulates there, comes back out. Two streams come together. They come over your bridge and gently leave your nostrils. So count. You observe the breathing for 10 counts. I will be counting backwards from 10. Breathe in, breathe out, 10. Breathe in, breathe out, 9. Breathe in, breathe out, 8. Breathe in, breathe out, 7. Breathe in, breathe out, 6. Breathe in, breathe out, 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. 0. Gently open your eyes, and when you open your eyes, shield it with your palms like this, and then open. There is an immediate result. You will see a certain calmness here. This is called valuable inner space. Then you're objective to your anger, then you're objective to your emotions, then you're objective to your trigger. There is valuable space here. And in that space, you can address your suppressed emotions and initiate whatever is required to be done. So every day, this is not, it is like, you don't go to the gym one day and don't go there. No, this has to be done daily. If you're able to do it daily, you gain what is called a certain inner composure. And anger gets handled in the inner composure. It helps you be that CDR, calm, dignified, refined person. There are other things which you can do. One of them is a prayer. If you're comfortable prayer, by praying, you can invoke whatever God like. If you're not comfortable praying, I'm not going to take you through a prayer now. If you're comfortable praying, invoke whoever you like, use this expression. May I have the inner composure to handle my emotion. May I have the inner composure to handle my emotion. Good enough, you will have them. Worked consistently, calm, dignified. R stands for refined. CDR. R stands for refined. Calm, dignified, and refined person. Other thing is, you can do what is called, that is part 2 of our program, where I do what is called something like Gestalt therapy. It is for high intensity anger, where two of us sit. I play you and you play me. So we exchange roles, we identify role problems, and then we call it, essentially, we are not trying to remove anger from the system, because there was a poet in South India, in Tamil Nadu, called Bharati, Subramanya Bharati. He said anger is good. Raudram Paragu, he says show fury when necessary. So it is okay. The only thing is we don't want it to sink its teeth into your life and run your life. Calm, dignified person. So they are Gestalt therapy. Yeah, if you're comfortable, there are certain things you can recommend. Can you strum a guitar? Okay, but mind you, strum it in tune. But otherwise, others get it. Okay, can you play the keyboard or a piano? But all this requires a little training, because you suddenly start strumming a guitar and they'll say, oh my God, you better be angry and shout. People may perhaps say, your anger is better than your guitar. Okay, so you could learn. Ukulele, not much investment. You can try playing that. Or if you can sing, wonderful. But when you're singing, choose good songs. Okay, Hindi, Tamil, any language is fine. I love singing in Hindi. And my favorite song, whenever I think that, you can always feel the anger rising, slowly rising in your system. I have a song, a couple of them. जो मिल गया उसी को मुकद्दर समझ लिया, जो मिल गया उसी को मुकद्दर समझ लिया, मुकद्दर समझ लिया, मुकद्दर समझ लिया, जो खो गया मैं उसको भुलाता चला गया, हर फिक्र को धुएं में उड़ा. It makes me feel so good from inside. और खुशी में फर्क न महसूस हो जहां. Lovely song. Your partner is very angry with you. I've got a nice song for you. Masha Allah कहना तो माना, बन गया बिगड़ा जमाना, इधर देखिए नजर फेंकिए, दिल लगी ना कीजिए साहब, मन जनाब ने पुकारा नहीं. Especially if the other person doesn't care, sing this. टूटा फूटा दिल ये हमारा, जैसा भी है अब है तुम्हारा. I've got a number of songs like this. The Hindi film industry gives you, so Hindi, Tamil, all film industries give you. Sometimes sad songs give you a lot of space. सागर कितना मेरे पास है, मेरे जीवन में फिर भी प्यास है. All your sorrow will melt. Choose nice song, happy songs. Sad song, whatever. but sing so that it melts. Okay, so our session today, roughly an hour, which I took you through, identify anger as a normal emotion which builds up for everyone. You have control, you have no control over anger. You have control over its display. Break down the display into low intensity, medium intensity, high intensity. Low intensity, make a game. Medium intensity, the few more measures like write it down. Okay, identify, seek cooperation from your spouse, your partner. High intensity, consult, because it's a little difficult to tackle it all on your own. So this is my brief presentation on anger management. Normally it's a 5-day course of 1.5 hours each. Medium, advanced, and advanced to 3 levels. And thanks to Dignity Foundation, which they said, let's do it towards the end of March. So thank you, Dignity Foundation, for this opportunity, for sharing these thoughts with you. And the floor is open. If anybody wants to ask questions, first raise your hand so that once I point out, yeah. Chandrika can ask the first question. Chandrika.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. I don't get mad. I mean, not get angry, but sometimes I get irritated. So
Okay.
how do you deal with that? It's not
Okay.
anger, but irritation.
Okay. Irritation is low intensity anger.
Okay.
Okay. It's a low intensity anger. It is ultimately it's emotional pain. Things are not going your way. Now, first step, identify the trigger. What causes the irritation? Okay. Again, L, M, or H.
Yes.
If it is L, how frequent? How intense? And how fast do you recover? If your recovery time is high, ignore it. Just take it in your stride.
Okay.
If the recovery time is longer, then perhaps a little bit of attention is necessary. Yeah. I can give you my email ID. You can mail me, and we can work on this. But medium also can be can be handled with a little bit of help from the spouse. But high intensity requires a little more attention. Okay, but irritation is an expression of inner pain in some way. There is something unresolved, unironed wrinkles.
Okay.
Okay, it happens.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. I know. Now go to KGY Raman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And thank you for this exhaustive dealing with anger. Very helpful. I remember one English comedy clip, like Laurel and Hardy or something, where some fellow advises count 10 before you show your anger.
Yeah.
This fellow goes to somebody, he gets highly, very angry. He starts counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, and she slaps him and breaks a flower vase. That was a very comic, of course.
So,
but
we have to understand.
This was not control.
Yeah.
This is rather suppression.
Suppression.
See, suppression has the very opposite effect.
Yeah.
Because you are suppressing, you are increasing the pressure. Right. And at one point of time, it has to burst.
Right.
That is, there is
rationalization.
There is rationalization. There is justification. There is control. There is suppression. But what matters is understanding.
I agree. Thank you, Raman sir. I now want to Priyanka had put up a hand. You want to ask something, Priyanka?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session. It was really insightful on a common topic, but it was very new. Sir, I just want to ask that, I learn about psychology, and people like narcissistic and toxic people, they are not open for counseling, and with high temper, high anger, not ready to listen to the other person. So how to bring them to the to make them ready for counseling or
I'll
to
come back
resolve
to
their
this
problems?
question, Priyanka, because it requires a little more insightful look into it. I'll come back to you.
Sure,
Let me
sure,
move
sure.
to, yeah, Joyanti Shen.
Yeah, it was an awesome session.
Thank
Mohan.
you.
Very enjoyable. And I look forward to your further sessions also.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And I wish
Anything?
there are going to be many of them.
Yeah, Dignity Foundation will surely will organize it.
I'm sure they do that.
We'll do that.
All the best
Yeah.
to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Hasina Tayyibji.
Thank you very much.
Lunchtime, we had a session where I was very angry, and it is really very helpful to me. And where I come from and what happens to me and where I have to improve. And I'm so happy today because I have to work on whatever my fault is. I'm thankful to you. But is this program recorded?
Yeah, this program is recorded. It will be available to you.
Okay, that would be lovely because I will need to see.
It will be available to you. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a nice session. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a very good session.
Yeah.
And we all enjoyed especially your music. You sang very well.
Thank you very much. Quickly addressing Priyanka's question. Priyanka, that requires a little more what you say, no? When people with the toxic emotions and narcissistic kind of tendencies, they are, I wouldn't try to put them under the normal anger management. Because first of all, they all suffer from a severe self-denial. So I have to get them out of his self-denial. It needs a little more focused attention. Perhaps you and I could exchange a private conversation and we'll come down to that. That makes it a lot more because that will be relevant to more as professionals. Yeah. Any other
I look
person would
forward
like
to that.
Sure, Priyanka. Any other person would like to ask?
The recording, where do I see the recording?
The recording will be made available to you. The Dignity Foundation will.
On YouTube, ma'am, on YouTube.
On YouTube, the Dignity Foundation.
Dignity Foundation channel.
Right. Thank you so much.
It will be available. Fine.
Bless you.
So thank you very much, Dignity Foundation, for this wonderful opportunity. And
Thank you
all
very
for-
much, sir. It is our pleasure. And as you know, I would like to speak on behalf of all the members that it was not only very informative, it was also very entertaining. Thanks to your presence and the way you presented, these topics in a very fun way. Even the methods that you suggested were very, simple, practical, easy to do, as well as very effective. So thanks to you for taking the time to organize this wonderful session for us. And upon public demand, sir, please do have more sessions with us
we'll do
in
one.
the future as well.
Yeah, we'll do something. We'll give it a couple of weeks break and then at a more convenient sometime in April.
Sure.
Let's do anger management too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dignity Foundation, from the core of my heart, and thank you, Mohan sir, for giving your precious time. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Good evening. Bye-bye.